It is a packed house here at the Suntec Convention Center Arena in Singapore as we get ready for Street Fighter, one of the 5 exhibition events at the Olympic eSports Week. Welcome along if you're just joining us. If you are in the building, I'm sorry, there are no more seats left. It is full to the brim. People have come from all over the world to see the 4 best in Street Fighter. Now I'm joined by competitors and commentators, Marine and Tasty Steve, aka Steve. Could you just quickly remind us of what the format is in terms of the competition today?
Now, typically how this works, those first round of players will go against each other in a best-of-3 format. That means you need to win 2 games before you be considered a winner and you move on into the bracket. That's going to get you to the next side of it, in which case it becomes best-of-5. You need 3 games to be the victor until we get 1 winner, 1 coming from the winner's side, 1 coming from the losers, with 1 champion being the grand champion.
Okay, and very quickly, Marine, could you just maybe tell us who we should be looking out for from those 4 we've got on our screen?
Yes, definitely. So we do have Tokido that we want to look out for because he's a very prominent player in the fighting game community and won so many major titles, and of course the best player in the region. And of course we have the 4 Phils, one of the youngest players in Great Britain. So I'm really excited to see him to kick some butt, go out with havoc.
Character, so you really need to be careful. And then there's the whole point that you have to remember, this is a new game with new characters, new players. It's going to be intense.
Right, okay, well, it's very dramatic here. We're about to meet our 4 finalists.
Let's give it up for our players! From United Kingdom, Kim Badiabio! From Japan, Hajime Taniguchi. From Mexico, Juan Medrano. From Thailand, Kam Honchen. Players, please take your seats and stand by.
Right, so you've met our 4 finalists there. It's shaping up in the building. Steve, Marine, how do you think this first final is going to go?
I'm going to tell you right now, the 2 players sitting on the stage represent a very, very strong part of the community. Tokido, a 3-time EVO champion, going up against the 4 Phils, one of the young guns, I like to call him. Very new to the community, but very strong when it came to the last game, Street Fighter 5. But now, it's a new day, it's a new game. Street Fighter 6 is the one we're talking about. But when we talk about the Olympics, we talk about having the mental as well as the physical. Tokido is a perfect example of that. He takes these games very seriously, and that goes to show why he's a champion.
So would you say that more pressure is on Tokido going into this then?
You know, I kind of wonder if the more pressure is going to be on 4 Phils, because we've seen Tokido compete at so many regions, and I've seen him, you know, like do all those like mental exercises, or you know, like running in plays. He's definitely prepared, and of course, 4 Phils, as Steve mentioned, you know, he did play at the end of Street Fighter 5, so he is going into Street Fighter 6, one of the strongest players in his region, and I'm so pumped to see who is going to take the crown here.
Okay, so quick reminder, in your first final, we'll be seeing 4 Phils from the UK take on Tokido of Japan. So that's a little lowdown on both of them. It seems like you're pretty even-handed when it comes to who you think is going to take it. It is the best of 3.
Yes, it is best of 3, and we talk about being in these situations before, right? Just remember, being up on that podium holds a little weight, and if we talk about who has the championships...
They're under the Olympic rings.
Exactly. Extra pressure. That is extra pressure, and I feel like Tokido having that XP, having that experience before, being on this stage, having those big titles, it puts a lot of pressure on somebody like the 4 Phils, but it also also puts him in a position to rise to the occasion, get a W under his belt, and these things last forever. We don't get to play each other at a high level like this often, so every victory counts.
As I mentioned, it is a packed house here. There are no more seats. So many people have come along to see this. It's interesting. We're seeing Tokido there now on the screen. Can you talk us through what's going on with his left arm? He's strapped up. He's getting ready. Also the device there as well.
This is exactly, we kind of touched on this a little bit. There's a lot of ways to play fighting games, especially now in Street Fighter 6. They have a new modern way that you can play, but Tokido is an optimization player. He goes for what makes it easier, what's going to get him the win, and now he's switched to using a hitbox, a level-less controller, which is not his typical, and it's kind of like new to the market, but it's very, very strong in this situation, especially when you can utilize it. But you see, my man is actually using a PlayStation controller on the other side with 4 fields.
Right,
Yeah.
so Marine, in terms of that optimizer that Steve just spoke about that Tokido will be using, it's not his usual go-to device. Could that be somewhat of I guess, a hiccup for him, maybe, if he's using it on such a big stage like this?
I think it's just more of like a lot of players are actually transitioning to the leverless, because for those leverless controllers, it's easier to input any motions or combos whatsoever. I know that he did play on stick before, but just seeing him play on the leverless is going to up his optimization.
Right, so the game is underway. We're on round 1. Steve, Marine, please take it away.
Oh, you guys see it right here. We got a brand new character in JP, new to Street Fighter, going up against a classic Ken. Now, this is really what I like to see. I'm a big fan of Ken by himself, but now I want to see how he's going to operate in this new system, this new world of Street Fighter 6.
Oh man, and of course JP being the character that will literally keep you away from him. But it looks like Tokido has finally found a way in.
Uh-oh, getting closer to this corner. Nice interrupt. Now, you saw what he did there. He used a little bit of that drive gauge, which is right under his life gauge, to advance forward. Gives him an advancing combo, but you got to be careful because it doesn't last long. You got to utilize it, manage it.
Oh, and there we go, that anti-air situation just to get him off the skies, and goes for the overdrive BP, and there we go. Oh, there's a drive impact. That's going to be huge.
That drive impact definitely takes armor, can stop a lot of oppressive situations, and give you a chance to do some big damage, but you got to be careful because your opponent can do it back in first blood. We'll go to the 4 fields. This is interesting already because it lets you know this kind of fits in what the kind of characters that the 4 fields like to play. He's like to play this range game. You got to respect him.
Oh, and there we go with the grab as well. You know, there is a thing where you could do back grab or front grab, depending on which situation that you're in. And now we are back in that situation again, spacing things out.
And you can see him using that parry right there. This mechanic doesn't hurt you, but it can open you up to damage if they're looking for it. And these crazy kicks, these options, you got to be careful.
Yep, and those overheads too. If you're crouching those, you will get hit.
Sets up a little portal there. He can make an attack come out of it, or he can teleport over, take the space, and be there himself. And this is the range game we were talking about. He likes to keep it lane. At the end of the screen, he doesn't want you to get close to him. No autographs.
And there we go, it's a crossover, just blocking all the attacks that he can block. And it goes in again! No anti-air, as I mentioned before.
That's 1 round apiece. Like we said before, you need 2 rounds to get a match. They're already neck and neck tied up right now. And this is the patience that you need to be successful. A jump in, go straight for the level 3. He's gonna cash out right here. Look at him drag the fist on the ground to start the fire like a match. Fire. Big damage.
Yeah, and you see that, like, it literally does almost half damage, and it, of course, applies more pressure as always, but it looks like the 4 fields is not going to chip away just yet. Oh!
Nice reversal, calls out that pressure. Big jump in once again. Stuck in this corner, not a good situation to be in.
Oh, there we go, great opening. As you see that green, that is a drive rush combo.
And that's a command grab. You gotta be careful. You can't get away from those. It goes straight into the level 3. Hit him with the purple stuff.
Oh my goodness. That is gonna hurt. It looks like that game is gonna go over to 4 fields. 1-0.
That is how you make an appearance in a new game, Street Fighter 6, round number 1. Game number 1 goes to the 4 fields. That JP really does kind of slow Ken down. If you can't get close enough to actually start your own pressure, JP holds a lot of control.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that you did see 4 fields getting jumped over and not anti-airing, but he was able to clutch it out in just that very moment. So now I wonder if Tokido's got something up his sleeve.
It's important. I'm glad you brought up that anti-airing. Street Fighter is a game that people do like to jump. They like to find the away or in by any means possible. So making sure your opponent is not going to be able to do that is one of the main things. You need to have buttons, special moves to stop them from doing that. They want to keep the game on the ground, a respectful game of Street Fighter, if you will.
Exactly. I like how you say respectful because, you know, in those games, you know, I wanted to bring up is that you've seen Tokido do the overdrive shoryuken. So that's the one where he jumps up and up and up with his fists. That is something that you can just use when you're knocked down. So it's kind of like a panic tool in a way.
Very much so. It's like a reversal, right? You get knocked down. You're not sure what your opponent is going to do. So you say, you know what? I'm going to spend this resource, get this person away from me, and kind of reset the neutral. Go back to square one as these guys walk in for game number 2 here. Man, Olympic Esports Week is so sick. Street Fighter 6 on the stage. I'm telling you right now, as somebody who travels the world talking about fighting games, seeing Street Fighter 6 on this stage with all you, this is an amazing thing.
And there we go. And remember, this is 1-0, 1 to 4 fills, and 0 to Tokido.
The overdrive gets him in there. That hurricane kick gonna get powered up. Oh, the counter.
Oh, yeah, that was a counter. So JP definitely has that. If you press a button, you get those little orb spheres that can apply more pressure.
Oh, nice. And this is what we were talking about. Tries to jump in, actually gets hit with the uppercut right there, and that's a successful anti-air. And there's that drive impact that I was talking about. Look at the damage here. Full screen, presses him away, and now you have to work so much harder to get back in and even play the game.
Oh, man, yeah, and in that situation, you're just kind of like, man, I really want to get in. And it looks like Tokido has got in, goes for the grab, back into the corner. So when you're in the corner, you want to be careful of your surroundings because you cannot back out any further.
And on top of that, if you hit that wall a little too hard, you're going to get stunned. And now he's in burnout, spins a super move early. Oh, man.
No, you know what? I totally forgot. So, of course, if you see that gray in the bar there, you are in burnout state. You will either get chipped and your buttons are a little bit heavier in a way or like a little bit slower.
Yeah, they get a little more recoil, right? It's a little harder for you to get them out. And on top of that, it makes it a lot harder for you to do combos and start your own pressure. Once again, full screen is where this character JP wants to keep you. And you can see him using these projectiles to make sure Ken does not get in at all. Uh-oh, here comes Tokido, though. Those throws are starting to add up.
Yeah, and it's that pressure, too. It looks like Forfils is trying to find ways to kind of keep Tokido back in that range again. And there we go with the overdrive shoryuken. Like I mentioned before, you can use that button as a panic, but the Forfils is using his level 3 super.
And look at that, that's dead. KO once again. This is incredible right now. The 4 Fields is now on point to take this and move on winner's side versus Tokido. Do not want to go down to that loser's side because it becomes significantly harder to get the W and become the champion coming from the loser's side.
And then you did see those characters glow blue, so that is a drive parry. So if you use drive parry, you are, you know, taking the hits, but you're not taking any damage.
It makes it so they can't get any damage. On top of, it makes it so it keeps them at bay. It makes it easier to start your game again, but it's not going to be easy if you're full screen. Nice jump to get away from the projectile spins. A little bit of the drive gauge, and there's another drive impact. Once again, absorbing the hit, start your own combo, and you can see the name of the game is lame. He's not letting you get anywhere near close.
Oh, and there we go, that anti-air bite goes for the other side. No confirm.
But he's also in burnout, so that means now he can take chip damage. Both of them are. You can now take chip damage, and every move does a little bit of damage, and you don't want to be close enough because you could be in trouble. Goes for the super move again, and the 4 Fields Kim takes it, and he's going to stay on the winner's side. Tokido will be going to that lower bracket. It's going to be a little more difficult, and you can see the look on his face. A quiet champion right there, a great player on top of that.
I did that.
And just to talk about like the characters that the 4 Fields typically plays, he plays these range.
But if you have a secondary character, you're going to go at it. So here we go. JP, Ken, Tokido, Mine RPG.
All right, here we go. We saw this matchup at as our very first match, right? Of course, Tokido's opponent was different at the time, and now Mind RPG trying to take the mental advantage, right? And the character advantage, knowing he's just lost to a JP. He tries to make the switch, but it's not looking good so far.
Oh man, there we go with that corner situation once more. It's so scary to jump over, but there we go, the cross cut goes for the whiff. Damage.
Ooh,
so much damage.
Quick round, 73 seconds still left on the clock, and this is exactly like you pointed out, Anita. Would you do this? Are you comfortable enough with this character to say, hey, I'm going to pick it versus one of the best fighting game players in the world? Not just Street Fighter, one of the best fighting game players in the world. Oh, nice. Using that parry to stop the offense, and still, you have to be careful. Doesn't stop Tokido from the offense, though. Great option to stop the jump in. That overdrive pillar uses the teleport to close the distance. Oh, perfect parry this time around, and the button completely misses, though. Oh, nice. Now, this knockdown is really going to kind of set the tone, because now you see the pace of the game starting to slow down. This is what Mind RPG wants. This is the optimal for him right now.
Oh, there you go with the punish counter. I really like this spike, especially with the fireball coming to you. You don't have to be scared about that because you are in a safe spot.
Oh, man. Tried to hit him with a really slick, a really cheeky command grab right there. Thought he wasn't looking for it, but he was ready.
Oh.
Oh, and this is dangerous because now it's starting to work out for Mind RPG. 1 round apiece here in this first game.
Oh my gosh, both players going for the drive rush combo.
Oh, nice. Go straight for the level 3.
Oh my gosh, look at that half health too. And you see that purple, that is a command grab. That is something that you cannot block. You will just get grabbed out of it.
And it's kind of sneaky, right? Because it looks like a projectile. It looks like something that he uses just to, you know, close the distance and make sure you don't get close. But it's actually a grab and it takes a lot of damage. Uh-oh.
Oh man, the burnout is so scary.
Yeah, Tokido in burnout. Nice. He goes for the jump straight into the level 3. Tokido. This is going to hurt so bad, it's going to be the game #1, Tokido.
Man, that's going to hurt. You know, I always see them like do super. It's like, oh, I don't think that's going to kill, but it actually does. It's so much damage.
You know, I'm glad you brought up earlier how people have to pay attention to a lot of things, right? There's a lot happening on the screen for Street Fighter. You have to pay attention to the time clock. You have to pay attention to your life bar. Then you got your drive gauge. And you got to worry about your super art meter. There is a lot. And that's not only for you. That's for your opponent because you want to know their options. You need to be paying attention in a lot of instances. And I'm going to tell you right now, Mind RPG is playing this very, very well. It's not working out in that first game. However, you can see the pieces starting to fall in. If this game plan goes the way he wants to, Tokido will never get close enough to do damage.
Yeah, and that, you know, that is that character, you know, with like JP or, you know, we mentioned before where you zoned him out. You don't want to be around JP because that's what he wants. So now it looks like we're going to go for the switch. Sweet.
Ah, see, now I'm glad you pointed it out, Anita. See, it didn't work out that first pick where he's like, you know what, I'm going to go for the matchup I saw he had a problem with. Didn't work out, so he's like, you know what, let me go back to my bread and butter. Let me go back to what I know best. But now you're down a game and you're in a must-win situation or you are officially out of the bracket.
Oh my gosh, that run and stop with that overhead. You know, we mentioned before, if you are block crouching, you are going to get hit.
No, that's definitely true because they have moves that go high or low. So if you are blocking low and they go for a move to hit you on overhead, that's actually going to work out in your favor.
There we go with the rising uppercut. And there we go, blocking the overdrive DP.
And look at what happened. It actually put them both in burnout. And look at the damage. Spins the meter, but he's still alive. But he's in burnout, and the chip is going to be a real thing. Situation not looking so good. His back is to the wall, and you can see him stalling for time, trying to get back a little bit of that drive gauge so he won't be susceptible to chip damage. The fireballs are meeting each other. Nice throw tech. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and now that Tokido is back to being healthy as ever, going for the EX fireball.
Waited out the drive gauge until he got back enough because he would not be able to use that move if he was in burnout. So smart.
Oh yeah, like you said, you gotta watch the lows. You know, you got the lows, mids, and highs. Something that you want to be, you know, aware of.
Oh wow, side switch gets out of the corner. Mind RPG using a little bit of that drive bar to actually parry and completely ignore the attacks here. But he's getting closer to that wall. Me and Maureen already talked about what happens. If you hit that wall a little too hard, it's gonna be a free combo. And you better not be in burnout or it might be worse. Great throw tech.
Oh, there we go, jumping over the fireball. This is going to be big damage coming from Mind RPG. Now in burnout state. Both players are in burnout state.
These guys are playing a dangerous game. Both of them looking tired. Both of them looking winded on the screen right now. Chip damage once again on the table. Chip damage, of course, is when you're blocking where you still take a little bit of damage, but this is going to take a lot of damage. Tokido brings back the second game in the second round to bring it home. This is one more round away, and after that, Mind RPG might not be playing any more games with us.
Man, that was really clutch. You know, like I've always said it before, you know, that overhead, that is something that you want to be scared of because you have to be standing block for that.
Oh, nice. Goes for the drive impact, of course, absorbing some of those hits and the perfect inputs to get the most optimal combo. Time to go to work.
Oh man, that's gotta leave a bruise the next morning.
Look how he wipes his hand like, whoo.
Whew, that's gotta sting.
Drive rush in there, closes the distance. And damage too nice, gets the target combo there.
Yeah, and you see that drive rush, that's going to give him more frames to work with. But Tokido finding a way in, especially in Brown State. But MindRPG is clutching out. He is not down yet.
This is what I like to see, the adjustments on the character. Now, Anita pointed this out. You saw the character switch. It makes a big difference in the game plan. MindRPG actually lost the first game because he tried to counterpick. He tried to outplay this guy by picking a bad matchup. Now, he was forced to go back to his bread and butter, the character he knows best, and that got him a win on the board. We are now tied at 1 game apiece. Whoever wins this next game goes up. The loser goes home.
And it's just like anytime I see these kind of brackets where like the player loses and it's just like, man, you had a great run. You literally played your heart out. Of course, like that's something that you shouldn't be upset about. But again, you know, this is a new game. We are building those skills up till, you know, how should I put it? Like just getting really good at this game. And man.
Let's talk about the pride on the line, right?
The pride, exactly.
Typically, you fly hours upon hours to fight somebody, and you can lose, and that's a long, long flight home in most instances. So you want to go home a winner. You got a long time to think about a loss if you do that. Oh, nice. The overdrive uppercut once again. And you can see how MindRPG is really using that drive bar, right? He's using it a lot. It's putting him in burnout, but it's also he's playing so well in burnout that it's not hurting him as much. Nice anti-air here. Oh, the drive impact. He's been so good at calling him out on this, and Tokido is in trouble.
Oh, of course, same side. Oh, there we go with the wall slide once again. There's going to be a lot of damage. And of course,
the cool combo.
Yes, the cool combo indeed. One more hit. Oh, man. Oh, and there it is. Going through the fireball, getting hit on the way back down.
The overdrive, once again, gives you an extra hit on these regular moves, can definitely surprise your opponent. And what you saw right there is that the regular one gets absorbed because it's 2 hits. The more hits, the more chance it's going to be successful.
Now, as you see that Tokido got punished for that, it's all on the way down. So, of course, there are some moves that like you block and you have time to punish it. So, again, another thing to look out for is that you can't mindlessly throw out those heavy buttons.
You got to be careful right now. Tokido is in a lot of trouble. Back to that wall, but nice. Gets the drive rush conversion and then successfully switches sides. Gives himself the lead and the spacing advantage because he does not want to be by the wall. And this might do it. Yo, MindRPG takes out Tokido. That is a 3-time Evolution champion that just went home here at eSports.
Of course, MindRPG secure his place. What was it that you found so impressive? In fact, we're about to start, it seems. So here is the final.
Guys, this is the grand finals here for the Olympic Esports Week for Street Fighter 6. It's been such a pleasure, but it's only going to be one winner. Let's get into it. Once again, this is best of 5. That means you get 3 games. You are the champion. So let's see who goes home.
There we go with the grab all the way on the other side. Oh my gosh, that's smart. But, you know, I like that idea, but you're going to get the punish on the way down.
He tried to escape, and he was ready. He was so ready, in fact. MindRPG. Kusanagi and Burnout. And MindRPG is playing amazing. Level 1 for the reversal. Gonna get him out of the corner and switch sides. But guess what? You're in Burnout. And chip damage is on the table. And this doesn't even matter because that's a clean hit with the drive rush. Gets the confirm. And man, this dude, MindRPG, has been playing out of his mind.
You got the mind games going on. RPG decision making. Okay.
Oh, perfect parry. Another perfect parry. Oh, these guys are playing some Street Fighter. This is what I like to see. Reversal's not going to be successful. Big damage on the table. Once again, MindRPG, where is his life bar?
It's time to go to work, Steve. Let's go. Hong Kong.
Bro, look at the damage. Oh, my God.
Man, I wish I could do that much damage.
You see what he say? He punches you in the face. You good? He asks you.
You good?
Level 1 again, but it's not going to be enough. The spacing was way too good. And mind RPG.
You know, in that situation where I did see Kusanagi go for, I believe that's the level 1 super, it is not invincible anymore. I feel like there are some characters that do or may have that invincibility, but if you like throw a fireball and you're trying to use the super 1, super 2 to get through it, you are going to get stuck.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens, right? Because you get in these high pressure situations and super moves are really strong. So you're like, well, maybe if I throw this out, they may make a mistake. It'll hit them. I can take advantage. And sometimes it can get you the round. But that's how you know these guys are a cut above the rest, because it does not always work like that. Perfect combo, but he drops it.
Oh, I wonder if he did that a little too fast to time it out, but oh my
The
goodness.
perfect parry and the confirm with the perfect input as well. Where you going? DI,
Oh,
mine.
reaction time.
That
There we go.
drive impact. Give me something cool. Nope, tries to go for the throw reset. What a read with the
no.
neutral jump.
Yeah, he tried to go for the DP, but was not coming out as fast enough. Oh my god, Mine RPG looking so clean as ever. Making that losers run too. This is something that like we've seen in so many fighting game community events where like a lot of players make it through the losers bracket.
But in this instance, it's only one set. There's no reset here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the anti-air uppercuts to stop the jump-ins have been so successful up until now, and now Kusanagi has a chance, uses the drive impact on the wall. That's going to give you some combo.
There we go with another grab, just applying more pressure. Okay, there we go with the overdrive DP. No respect whatsoever. Going into level 3 super just to close it out. Mine RPG going 2-0 over Kusanagi.
This guy, Mind RPG, has been playing so well. Seems to have an answer for everything that's been thrown on him on the screen.
That's why, like, you know, like in that little tidbit interview, you know, he's playing 8 hours a day, been playing Street Fighter for
10 years. 10 years he's been playing Street Fighter.
Oh my goodness, you know, like his mind is like somewhere else right now, but I'm trying to get like you know?
I'm trying to play that well. I want to be that good, okay? There you go, angry face. We're not friends. All right, here we go. Oh, and this time, starting off with the overdrive fireball. Once again, it's going to give you a powered up version of your attacks, extra hits, extra damage. Can be applied a lot of different ways. Big jump in to get over the projectile.
That was a really good prediction there. Oh no, now grabbing back into the corner. You know, that's honestly like really good too. I know that you can do like a forward throw or back throw, but especially in the situation that you're in, you want to optimize as much as you can. Whoa!
Whoa, wow, tries to use an escape tactic. Gets the read. Speaking of reads, perfect parry. Let's see what you do with it. Goes back to the corner. I can parry too.
Yeah, we got parries out here.
Side switch, takes the damage, and uses the overdrive hurricane kick. Oh, catches your peak and goes in the drive. Oh, goes in the burnout, and it's still going to give him the round. Kusanagi swinging it, bringing it back.
That was actually really clean too, because we've seen Kusanagi doing the jab, jab, jab into drive rush impact or drive rush cancel. But this is gonna hurt.
And look at that. You see that bar down there? It's building up. He's getting real close to level 3. And he gets it, does not spend it. Wake up super. It's going to work this time, and it switches positions. So that means the corner is going to be at your back. Mind RPG still fighting his way out, though.
Oh my goodness, it's so scary. You cannot jump, especially with that much health, because it's just saying like, hey, you can take the round.
This is set point. This is tournament point. The winner of the bracket can be decided right now if Mind RPG and the Luke get this one round. Nice. Confirms the crouching medium punch. Gonna take him to the corner with the combo.
I really like how he was able to break through all those walls of parry. There we go. Kusanagi coming up with the
he's spinning it all. We getting level 3?
Oh!
Yes, we are.
But again, this is probably going to scale super hard because all those combos that has been stacked up very well, you want to be able to, you know, of course, you know, do the damage, but then you gotta find ways to close this out.
But look, he put himself in burnout, and we talked about Mind RPG and his awareness of burnout. Nice, just walks out of the range of the throw and just does a standing light kick that gets the hit. That's gonna be a match, and you need that.
And you see those situations too that you want to be aware of. So like this is a thing called whiff punishing. So you see that your opponent is doing a move where you're able to kind of like, oh, I can punish that from far away, like you're not blocking it or anything. You can whiff whiff punish where, let's say, like they do grab, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can definitely punish that, and you go into like a really big combo, do a lot of damage. So again, like I mentioned before, there are so many things that you have to be aware of and be very, very careful.
I like that you said that. A whiff essentially is making your opponent miss an attack, in which case you take advantage of it, and that puts you in a state to where you take more damage because it counts as a counter hit. Ooh, ready. You cannot jump in on me. Stay out of my air. I own this space.
Yeah, and what's really smart of MindRPG is like backing out so many times. He's not going really close against Kusanagi, but Kusanagi is getting a little close to that DP.
Oh, yeah, you whiffed. We just talked about that. That is a whiff punish. You whiff? Oh, man, that's going to cost you a life bar. Once again, MindRPG is on tournament point, but he gets opened up with the low into the drive rush, and now Kusanagi tries to go for the drive impact, but he's ready. Great reaction, just exactly like you said, but he drops the combo.
Dropped it. Drop this plate, 5-second rule. Oh my gosh. Oh no, jumps over at the perfect time. That direct impact has to be a punish, and now we are going to the level 2 super.
Big damage here, and he's gonna get a little bit of that drive bar back. Baits the big uppercut. It's OD on top of that. He's gonna spin it all again. Level 1, exactly. Side switch, gets an opportunity for a cross up. Oh my gosh, he was ready for that.
I thought that was gonna hit him.
I can't believe he did that, and that's gonna be it. No, he jumped it again. Kusanagi stays alive. That is crazy. That's nerves if I've ever seen it.
Oh my gosh, what a scramble. And again, we've seen those situations so many times and it never gets old.
Oof. Oh, big damage. You said you like damage? Big damage.
Well, here you go.
What? Oof. Oof. Rising uppercut once again. Situation not looking too good, and this could be it. He has a level 1. He's going to save it. He wants to save it to finish the job. Working on a perfect on top of that MindRPG. No anti-air. One more hit. Oh my gosh, he has no life. He literally cannot get hit again. He literally cannot get hit again, or this is over. Kusanagi cannot get hit again, or MindRPG will be the champion. MindRPG in burnout though. Uppercut successful. Stops the offense. Gets the jab, and that's gonna be it. MindRPG.
Let's go. Oh my goodness. That was so clutch between those two. MindRPG was able to kind of clutch things where he's able to do the DP. He's able to do kind of like space things out a whole bunch. It was a great match for him.
Yeah, this is one of those things you really got to pay attention to, man, because once again, MindRPG had some crazy rebuttals when it came to stopping exactly what Kusanagi wanted to do, and it seemed for the most part like MindRPG was in control and was not able to, was completely able to stop any offense that Kusanagi tried to get started. The fact that he fought so well in Burnout, Anita asks, like, what was one of the big things that contributes to how well MindRPG plays? The fact that he will go in completely tired with his character in Burnout, where he can take chip damage, spends all his resources, and still get the W. And not only that, over the players that he's played against today, like Tokido, the 4 fields, this is a major W.
Man, and we were talking about MindRPG's thoughts. So, like, in the winner's bracket, Kusanagi brought him down to the loser's bracket, and he was able to kind of, like, think what he can do better, how he can fight against Kusanagi. And, of course, I really like how he was sticking for the Luke choice, too. You've seen his run against 4 Fills and Tokido, and, of course, he was playing JP, but he's like, I don't think that's working out, so I'm going to go for the Luke. And, of course, both of these players handshaking, that is the tradition. Hey, man, GG's.
GG's. You know how it goes.
GG's.
You don't mean that at all. You don't mean that. If you lost, you don't mean that at all, but it's always good games.
Wow, incredible stuff. So the winner of Street Fighter at the Olympic eSports Week is MindRPG, and we have him on stage. Let's hear from him.
That's right, Anita. Congratulations, MindRPG really came back, to win that one. How did it go for you?
I think I never expect to win the event. This is like a dream come true.
A dream come true. And for yourself, how are you feeling?
Really confused right now, but
That's a good one. I have to ask you, some of the casters were saying that, you're a little bit low profile in your home country and you come here. So how does it feel like, or what's the experience like, to win something like this?
It's a very great experience for me because I never had a chance to play in the big event before. So, yeah.
And for yourself as well, are we going to be seeing you, try and come back from this perhaps in another competition?
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to try to travel to any tournament I can. So we'll see there.
And hopefully you see more fans as well come and support you. Thank you very much, guys. And once again, congratulations. Back to you guys.
Mind RPG is the winner of Street Fighter. He was dubbed the underdog by our commentators here, not really known in the Street Fighter community. And here's some of the highlights from that final.
Such a beautiful thing to see. We talked about how new this game is. You question like how much experience do they potentially have? Maximization, optimization, we like to say, when it comes to damage, when it comes to spacing, and just taking advantage of your opponent, whether it be matchup or the things that they're doing over and over. And you see great situations for it to happen, whether it be the 4 fields with the JP, Tokido with the Ken, and of course Mind RPG with the Luke. I mean, in all honesty, I know about all of these players now, and I'm a fan of all of them, but when you talk about high-level Street Fighter, I'm glad you guys were introduced to it this way, because you saw the nerves on display, you saw the execution on display, you saw the nerves kick in, you saw what happens when you play this game at a high level, and that's what gets you success, especially in fighting games. It's such a beautiful thing to see here on the stage.
Thank you so much for joining us. You saw Mind RPG of Thailand take down some of the biggest fighters in the world of Street Fighter. You have the likes of 4 Fields, you have the likes of Tokido. He is the winner here. Head over to Taekwondo now, or stay tuned. Thank you very much for joining us. What a final we had there. So Mind RPG is the winner at the Olympic eSports Week. Yeah, a deserved round of applause from the man from Thailand. What do you think was key to him being victorious today?
Oh man, we've mentioned before where like he was sticking to 1 or 2 characters, but of course sticking to just one main character. And of course the character that has been like so well-rounded throughout the game, and just having that mental stack too, because we mentioned before, Street Fighter is not